So in this video, I want to talk about my Omega Seamaster 300 Pro in green, also known as the seaweed, and I want to put it up against one of the most iconic watches that has ever existed in pretty much ever in history, and that's the Rolex Submariner Hulk. I got the opportunity to check this watch out briefly. This watch is not mine, obviously. I don't have whatever it costs. I think they're like going for $25,000 to buy one of these, but I wanted to do a little head-to-head against my Omega Seamaster and see which watch is better, which one packs the better value, and I'm going to come up with the winner. Who will win? Let's see. Obviously, I don't own this watch, so I can't tell you. I can't give you my overall long-term perspective on how it is. I can just tell you sort of subjectively how I feel about the watch compared to my own Seamaster, and kind of give you my opinion about it. Let's go to the other room and check these watches out. The head-to-head of the year. I'm going to check out my Omega Seamaster 300 Professional in green, and of course the venerable Rolex Submariner in green, also known as the Hulk. I'm going to judge these on finish, case, dial, bezel action, bracelet, clasp, movement, and value. For this particular head-to-head, I'm actually going to include greenness as a special category for these watches. Which watch has the most attractive shade of green, since these are arguably some of the most popular green watches that have ever existed. You know, given the whole green watch dial fad that's been around for a while, and I may be slowing down now, but arguably Rolex started it years ago with the Hulk, but obviously it's discontinued, so now you can only purchase this watch in the secondary market. As far as finishing is concerned, I'm gonna award 4 points for the Seamaster Professional, and I'm going to give the Rolex 3 points out of 5. The finishing on the Seamaster is a tad bit nicer, especially on the case and stuff. So the combination of brushing, the twisted lugs, and the brushing and the polish is just what I would consider a nicer. It's a more complicated looking finish, in my opinion. So as far as the case shape, I'm going to give 5 points to the Omega Seamaster for the case. I believe it's a more unique case shape with twisted lugs. I believe it's more of a unique looking case, and I have to award. I'm going to give it 5 points to the Omega and 4 points to the Rolex Submariner, given that it is the oyster case and it is as iconic as a case design that you can go. But it is. I feel like it's been played out. There's so many watches. Pretty much Rolex has this case in like 4 or 5 different watches. So it's not anything unique. I believe the Seamaster brings a little more to the table. Now I'm going to judge bezel action. So you heard that one. So it's harder for me to grab. So you heard both there. It's actually hard for me to even grab the bezel and twist the bezel on the Omega. So I'm going to give it a 2 for bezel action and give the Rolex a 5. Now I'm going to judge dial now. So dial, I'm going to give the Omega Seamaster a nod in the dial category, simply because of its ceramic material, its wave pattern on the dial. It's a more intricate design, and it's a little more interesting in my opinion. And obviously the Rolex has a beautiful sunburst finish, so it's a very nice dial, but I'm gonna give the nod. So I'm gonna award 5 points to the Omega and a 3 to the Rolex. So now I'm going to judge bracelet. So the bracelet on the Omega is a bit controversial. Most people complain that it's not tapered at all, and a lot of people aren't into the whole tank track kind of style of bracelet. I, for one, like it. So again, this might be a bit of a subjective score, but at the same time, I'm going to factor in a lot of people's, the internet's feelings on the bracelet. So I'm going to give the bracelet for the Omega a 3. The oyster bracelet on the Submariner has just the right amount of taper. It has really nice finishing. It is of a high quality, and it is the iconic oyster, so I'm going to give it a 5. So as far as clasp is concerned, the Omega has a very nice wide. It is a very big, bulky clasp, so it is big and bulky. It does have a bit of an extension system, but it does not go as long as the Omega as the Rolex is. I think it's about 8 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not doesn't equal the Submariners. So I'm going to award the Clasp system. I'm going to give it a 4 for the Omega. The Rolex Clasp is extremely high quality. It just feels solid. It's built like a tank. It has the glide lock system, which gives you 20 millimeters of adjustment, and it is a superior clasp in my opinion. I'm going to award the Submariner Clasp a 5. So the movement on the Seamaster is it is the 8800. It is a coaxial movement. It beats at 3.5 hertz. It is actually decorated to an extent, as you can see. It is very robust. The coaxial system means that it has the service interval is extremely long at about 10 years. The Omega Seamaster's movement is a certified master chronometer, and it's a fantastic movement. I'm going to give it a 5. The Rolex has the venerable Rolex 3135 movement, beats at 4 hertz. It is a certified chronometer. It is minimally decorated. It is a very utilitarian movement. Well, I'm not going to open the case to show it to you, but I'll probably find a picture. It is very Rolex, customary Rolex. They do not have display case backs. It is a movement that in one form or another has been around for decades, and it is a solid movement, but it does not match the quality and the finishing of the Omega, so I'm going to award it 3 points. So I want to talk about value. As far as value is concerned, there's no contest. The Seamaster is a much greater value. You can actually buy this watch right now for under retail. I paid retail for mine, so you could get this for under retail, probably under $5,000. Pretty much any day. You can go on Chrono, you can go on eBay, go on eBay and get it authenticated. You could go on the gray market and find it, relatively easily under retail. If you didn't want to go through gray market or pre-owned, you could go to an AD and actually probably walk out with one in pretty short order. So as far as value is concerned, I am going to award the Omega a 5. The Hulk, I don't know if it's a fair comparison simply because they don't make this model anymore. So given the current prices of the Hulk, we're talking about $25,000, $20,000 to $25,000, $20,000 on a good day, probably a really beat up one of the older ones without box and papers. Maybe you got one for 20 grand. Even at that, I would say that this is a 1 on value. It simply cannot compete with the availability of the Omega and the ease that you can get one, and the fact that you can actually get these under retail. This is at a very high premium. So again, 5 and 1. So for my special category of greenness for these watches, I'm going to say I'm going to just award it. This is purely subjective at this point. I'm going to start with the Omega. The Omega has a very nice darker shade of green. It is a ceramic, so it won't be as shiny as the Rolex. It is definitely not as in your face. A lot of times in a dark room, it could almost look black. In bright sunlight, it can look like a candy apple green. Sometimes it looks like a hunter green. It is a chameleon. It can be different kind. It can even look grayish sometimes. So it's sort of, it can be it's sort of like a multifaceted kind of color. The Hulk is just in your face. It is a very green watch. It stands out. You wear it in the sunlight, it is super green, and it has that sunburst dial, which means it is extremely noticeable that you are wearing a Hulk from very far away. So as far as greenness, I'm going to give the Omega a 4, and I have to award 5 to the Rolex simply because it is a more noticeable and more in-your-face shade of green, but they're both an excellent green watches and some of the best that any manufacturer's ever made. Okay, so I just tallied out the scores and I got the winner of this head-to-head. So first of all, we have the Rolex with 34 points. A very good showing for the Rolex. As far as this head-to-head is concerned, the Omega is the winner with 37 points, and it probably took it based on value. It's just overall a fantastic watch, and at 37 out of 45 possible is really, really good. But yeah, that is the end of the head-to-head. Hope you liked it. So I hope you like that head-to-head there with the Seamaster and the Submariner. It kind of sucks that, Rolex discontinues colors like this, because I really do think this is a great color, a really nice color for the Submariner. And obviously since they discontinued it, you're kind of like, you're stuck. You gotta either pay like whatever they're asking for these things, which I believe easily over $20,000, up to more than that. So as an alternative, you got the Omega Seamaster, which you can actually get under retail. I have no insight to whether Omega will ever discontinue this green color. My guess is they won't discontinue it, since it's probably one of their most popular colors, and I don't think they'd want to give up the sales. Again, I didn't buy it for it to go up in value, or as an investment. I bought it because I like the watch and I want to wear it. I want to wear the watch. So it kind of sucks that the only way to get these is secondary and you got to pay a fortune for them. But overall, it's a great watch. In some aspects, it beats the Seamaster, but it tanks when it comes to value. I would not recommend you buying one of these for $25,000, even as an investment. Again, not financial advice, but there are better investments you can do with your money. Even though the Seamaster did win overall because of it packs a much better value. If you happen to own one of these and you happen to have bought it when it came out, then I think you have a great watch. So really congrats to you for owning it, but I would probably never own this watch. Let me know if you have any questions about either watch. Really helps a lot if you can like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.